Hello, friends. It's that time again. It is tuxedo time.
Yeah, very classy.
I have got my order back from SGC for the 70s and 80s special. I've got some Hall of Fame baseball players as well as a change of pace, some Hall of Fame basketball players as well. So stick around and check it out.
I wouldn't miss it.
Hello, friends. I am John, and I am the 3D 80s kid. I have got my SGC order, so it is time to review that. And so the cards I sent in with the $12 70s, 80s specials were rounding out the rest of the cards I needed from 1979 through 1989. Because with that special, I ended up buying some ungraded copies of the ones I was still missing. Just, let's just knock them out. It's only $12 to grade. It's going to be close to that, if or when they ever come up for sale. And in the process, I did learn that I think two of the cards are actually a pop one now with SGC, as in I was never going to find them available for purchase because one of them didn't exist in what I was looking for with my eBay searches that had been up forever.
This might not be very much in demand.
So, with that said, unlike my usual SGC videos where I do record in advance before I send them in, I record my grading predictions. I didn't really get around to doing that this time.
There you go. If this thing happens, nobody's going to do any good.
With them all being 79 through 89, I really would not expect them to veer very far away in terms of grades. They all look really nice in terms of condition. In fact, if I was going to throw a grade prediction out there for all of the baseball cards of this reveal, it would be an 8 plus or minus 1. So I'm going to be shocked if they don't all end up within that range, I guess, between 7 to 9. So let's see if I'm right there. And as far as the basketball cards I got, these are some cards from the 1973-74 Topps set that I had purchased near the end of my basketball collecting sometime back in 2021, probably third quarter of that year, maybe around that time. And just never got around to grading them. And with the $12 special, I said, what the hell, let's just do it.
I think you're being a little flippant.
Because these are legendary players or figures in one case that I got slabbed up. So let's start looking at the cards. First up, 1979 OPG Rich Goose Gossage. I got the OPG version as a variant just since they actually have the Topps and OPG label on the fronts of the 79 set. As you can see behind me over there, I've got George Brett already on the wall in a Topps card from that year. And this one will go right alongside of it, which is a 7.5. There we go. So I'm in my expected range so far now with this OPG card of Rich Gossage, which, like I said, really nice, clean card. So not surprised. It's a fairly high grade from what I usually end up getting on the wall. So next we are at 1981, and it is or is this 1980? It is 81. All right, yeah, newly minted Hall of Famer Dave Parker. And I got the 81. It's got the hat on there. I could not resist getting a card that has the Pirates pillbox style hat for the 81 card here. And there we go, a 7.5 for Dave Parker. In an awesome there. Starting to take off after he launched the ball somewhere out there. Action shot. Nice clean back as well. It will focus. Nice card there of new Hall of Famer Dave Parker. Now we're on to 82 Fleer. Bruce Sutter. And I believe this is the first of my Pop 1 with SGC, at least, graded cards, as the only people that bothered to grade him are all PSA folks that I guess are collecting every card of every Hall of Fame player type of registry folks that would bother to grade this one. I'm pretty sure. Uh, one fine detail that I didn't actually notice until someone pointed out in my 80s Hall of Fame run selection video is that he appears to be wearing a first baseman glove in this shot, which is kind of funny. That I guess that was the glove he had to grab at the time to, for the fake action photo of him glaring down. So, Bruce Sutter, awesome closer of the 80s. 83 Donruss is up next with Mr. Paul Molitor, a 9, one of my highest graded cards now on my wall with I think I've won 9.5 in there. But yeah, my Tiffany Wade Boggs from 87 is a 9.5. So there we go. Now, this one has the unique feature of being a card that I actually opened from a pack my first year of collecting. And like I might have said in a video quite a while ago, I was very careful handling my cards, even though I didn't use any protective supplies back then. I just had them in stacks with the bare cards, and I manipulated these a ton. I mean, I would stare at the backs, memorize tons of stats, and play with them in terms of like having fake games and such going on in my head. And yet still, I guess I was delicate enough to still get a 9 grade for a card. So go figure. But here's another card that's actually from my childhood collection as well. And that is the 85 Fleer Tim Raines. I always loved the color matching they did on this set here in particular. Come on, focus, baby. There we go. If you've ever seen the 85 Fleer set all over the place, they did color matching with the team colors with that border that's next to the gray, which, as you can see, the gray border makes it really easy to get little white tips and things like you can see in a couple of the corners here. So, yeah, I imagine this would be more condition sensitive than your typical white bordered cards. So, nice card there of Mr. Tim Raines. Was he a poor man's Ricky Henderson? I still hate this guy, but he is a Hall of Famer, so I did make a place for him anyways. But I feel bitter still every time I see it of that 91 World Series where the Braves should have won that game if Lonnie Smith would have ran the bases all out instead of getting juked. But there we go. Jack Morris, 85 tops there, ends up getting in the 8. Nice. Back on that one. Nice and clean. What 2 major league teams are located in Ohio? Everybody knows that one. Cincinnati and Cleveland. Come on. All right. Up next, 1986 Fleer. We've got another great closer, which this would be my other SGC Pop 1 card, like the Bruce Sutter. People aren't exactly clamoring to get middle of the career cards for closer Hall of Famers. So there we go. The only one in existence in an SGC slab is in my hands. There we go. With the really extreme people getting the PSA one if they're part of that every Hall of Famer card registry. So, and the goat of goats, we have got 87 Donruss with the Harold Baines. I was actually surprised to find that this is now the second graded SGC copy. Someone else bothered to get this one graded in SGC. So that is special now because it's Harold Baines. All right. There's a really nice color matching here. The 1988 was the inaugural year of Score, and I thought they did great with this card here of Robin Yount with the gorgeous blue to match the blue Brewers uniform there. And this one is an 8.5. Nice looking card. All right, 88 Tops. We got another card from my childhood collection, specifically, with the Ryan Sandberg from 88 Tops, and also gets an 8. '89 Tops, another card I pulled from the childhood collection. 1 second, I forgot to pull the card here of the gift that was given to me previously for this set, which part of this special was that it had to be raw cards. They weren't going to do cracking or crossovers for this special. So I left this one alone that was given to me by David of Peacemaker Cards, this PSA 9 copy of the Barry Larkin. And I keep it in my section of gift cards that have been given to me, and I greatly appreciate that gesture. So I ended up grading my own raw copy then of 89 Tops Barry Larkin, which this was the first set, I believe, that I ever successfully built fully from opening packs, which, yeah, the next year in 1990, I just went nuts doing that with tons of different sets. But prior to that, I was buying the complete factory set later in the year, other than when I first started in '83 with Donruss. Opened packs, but got far from a complete set. So then I was just only buying complete factory sets for the next few years, or at least my mom was purchasing them for me as, I don't know, birthday or Christmas gifts. I'm not sure exactly which, but next we got 89 Upper Deck. And this was part of my Hall of Fame player run plan with Ozzie Smith shown in the field for 89 Upper Deck. I have already made a switch thanks to the 90s episodes with Shane and Brent and Brian there. But, for now, that's part of this order with a 9 on the Upper Deck Ozzie Smith. Such gorgeous set that they suddenly started making a premium looking product there in 89. But, of which I opened 0 packs that year because they cost $1. I could get tops for 45 cents. So, the last of my baseball cards is not part of my Hall of Fame run collection, but it is a special card that was a gift, as in, for my 50th birthday, Doug over at DK Cardboard sent me the cello pack, or yeah, I think that's what it's called, of 83 Tops, being that was my first year collecting cards. And I pulled this rookie card from the mix, and that would be the Ryan Sandberg.
A rookie, huh?
So I went ahead and got it graded. So then I will put it in the case that I keep with gift cards that people give me. So thanks again, Doug. Reminder of your friendship here. So there you go. Pack Fresh 7 there. That's what the stupid advertisements say all the time with people saying Pack Fresh in their ad for a graded card, as if that is suddenly a selling point. But all right, so on to now basketball cards. So why did I pick 73, 74 Tops for basketball cards?
That's all I could afford.
The unique feature of that year is that was the first year that Topps actually got the NBA license. So they did not have to show the cards anymore, but the guys wearing the jersey backwards or positioned specifically where their arm would cover up the team name like this. They'd hold the ball here. Like this first card got graded is actually Pat Riley, who I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame yet, but he certainly will be as a coach / executive. And there you go. That is the pose they had to use in prior years, which, considering how Topps over the years has been cheap with photography, I'm sure they had this one ready to go and just used it anyways, where he's covering up the Laker logo. So this would have been acceptable even if they hadn't secured the license. But like I said, 6 plus or minus 1. So there we go, a 5 on the Pat Riley with the nice 70 stash there. So yeah, shout out to BK, Stashy Stash. Oh yeah. All right. Then we've got the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar that also features Wilt Chamberlain on the same card. Another unique feature of this year's set was that they did not produce separate all-star cards like in other years. And so the cards that were of people that made the all-star team had a completely different style than those that did not. So right here, Kareem making the all-star team gets that different style to the front, with identical then setup on the back as all the other ones. But there we go, 7. And then we've got a Wilt Chamberlain, where apparently he did not make the All-Star team that later stage of his career. But like you can see there, you can actually see the Lakers on his uniform, and it appears to be an actual game photo there in the 6th grade, which if you see that little print mark in the top right, that is a normal, very common feature with a lot of these cards, and see a really jagged cut on the other side of the card as well. So didn't exactly have high quality control at this point for Topps here, with basketball cards at least. Come on, focus camera. There we go. So there we go. And then we got the big O, Oscar Robertson with a 6. There, nice with him on the Bucks, teammate of Kareem at that point. I think it was the year after they won the title together in Milwaukee. And my final card of the order is Jerry West, who also was an all-star for that year in a 6. Come on. Focus, baby. And as you can see, that picture actually might have been acceptable in the era of no license as well, since he's got his arm right across Lakers. So that might have been strategically taken to be able to be used either way. So it's funny the games they played with the jerseys when they didn't have the license. All right, so there we go. There is my SGC order. And since this one actually had arrived the day I left for Strongsville, I am just not getting around to showing it till now. And I've actually got another SGC order that arrived yesterday. So there's going to be another one of these reveals coming soon.
You're never going to get caught up.
Which is going to be all vintage Hall of Fame baseball cards. These are going to be the cards that I dropped off in person at the Front Row Card Show that was in Portland, Oregon. So, stay tuned for that one in the near future. But everyone, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.
Well, see you next time.
Yeah, unless I get lucky and break a leg.
Wouldn't you like to know?